this. Every time I get in the car, I feel like there's an accident about to happen. Not my fault, but I've been using this to make sure that I capture it all. So let me show you. So this is the M17 Dashcam Pro by AZDome, and they sent me this to test out, and I'm going to open it and install it and use it. In the box, we get the camera. It's nice. That's smaller than I imagined. I've never used a dash cam before. I do hook up my camera, my phone camera a lot of times to act as a dash camera, but it's not the most efficient use of my phone and I can't always do it. So I'm looking forward to trying this out. So the video quality on this AZDome, it's a 3K camera, and so you're going to get better than 1080p, but short of 4K. So you're going to get a pretty good recording. I'm going to show you a few uses that I've had of this, some clips that I got from driving around. I'm going to show you how I set it up. I'm going to tell you 5 things that I really like about it before we're done. So hold on. Okay, so here's what the camera screen is going to look like. You've got a few different modes, so I have to stop it recording in order to look at the menu. But then here is your menu, and you've got some buttons here to move it through. It's not a touch screen, and so it's just a little bit hard to navigate and to get used to it. There are a lot of different settings here, and the ones that I have found that I really use are basically the Wi-Fi connection and setting up the camera settings. So when you first set it up, you're going to need to set the time and date. You're going to need to format your micro SD card in it. And then the other settings you can change the resolution, but there's no real reason to go with a lower resolution except that maybe you want to save space on your SD card. So a few other things, you can set up a screensaver here. So it says it has a fatigue warning. You can set up voice control, some voice activation. You can change the sound record on it and also its volume. You can have a watermark on your video. So those are your basic functions in the menu. It automatically records. So it gets going recording when you turn the car on and power it up. For me, however, like I said in the earlier, my power connection is always on. So I have to actually turn it off and on to make it work. So there's a mode. Here you see the rear view camera, front camera with both in the view, or front with only the front camera in view. In the modes, you have a few different things in terms of setting and which cameras you're seeing, what they're doing. And then there's a record button at the top. You can turn recording on or off. You can use this to take just photos. You could use it to take just audio, or you could use the audio. You can turn the audio off if you don't want to record audio. There's also a way to lock your videos. So emergency video. Okay, I've got emergency video going right now. I don't really want that. I'm going to talk about the advantages, I think, of having a dash cam as I show you some footage from this one and talk through why it might be a good idea to use one. And then I'll tell you what I like about this one. All right, so here it is attached to my windshield. And I drive a very large vehicle. And so I wasn't sure if the wiring would all fit all the way back, but it does. So I don't have the prettiest setup yet here. You can hide these wires better than I have. But what you're going to do is run your wires inside of your trim, and you can see here where the wire comes out. So this is the power connection. I've got it running down here. I had the door open to run it here, and then to run it under, and then up here to where it plugs in. So my car is a little different. This stays on all the time. And with that said, I either have to unplug the camera. There are ways to work around this, but I'm fine with this setup. So the other cord coming out on the left side is the rear view camera. And so I have this running again into my trim and then all the way back. And here's where I wasn't sure if it would reach or not, because I drive a large SUV, and so to reach all the way to the back was a lot of work. But I was able to hide it the whole way. So if you're concerned about things like airbags, there's some videos on this, and you can find those and check that out. If you think you might be interfering with your airbags or any safety things, please do make a note of that and make sure that you are not. So I haven't tucked it completely in here so you can see where the wire comes out, but only if you're looking for that are you going to notice it. So here's the rear view camera. I attached mine inside the vehicle. I thought that would just be easier and I get a good view with it the way that my car is set up. So I just put a couple of screws and some little holes in my plastic here. So the wiring in the back, you're going to have a red wire that connects back here. And so your red wire, you're going to have to figure out how to connect it to a power source in the back. And so you're just going to basically splice it in. So I splice it into my rear camera backup light. And there are videos out there if you're looking for how to figure that out. So that takes a little bit of know-how. So setting the camera up was obviously a little bit of work in terms of running everything, the wiring, and getting it tucked away. You want it to be out of the way so you're not noticing it a lot. So I'm going to show you footage of the rear view camera and the front view camera. I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to show you how the app works with it and the screen in just a second. I'm going to show you here some real footage of the camera as I drive around town, and it's really clear. My windows could have been cleaner, and I realized that was probably a mistake on my part to shoot footage that I was going to use with dirty windows. But hey, that's life, that's reality. So what I was really impressed with was how easy it is to set up and to use. It's just on when your car's on. So unless you unplug it or turn it off, it's recording. And so that's really easy. And so you're putting a memory card in it, and it's just going to overwrite the memory card. So it's going to continue to record, and you can change the pixel count on it to make bigger, smaller files. You can change the count in terms of the timing. So it's automatically recording in 1 minute segments, but then I changed it to 5 minute segments, increments for the video. So here's the night footage. You can see it's really, really clear. I think you would capture everything you needed to with this. So it will pick up license plates pretty easily. I tried not to include any here. I don't know if that's really a big deal, but anyway, the footage is really great. It's easy. So to get it, you can look at it on the camera itself, or you can download it to your phone, which is the easier option. So you have to connect to the camera's Wi-Fi. And so that does take a little bit of figuring out on my part, because I had not done this before. And so that was a little bit of work to figure out to start with. But once I figured it out, I've gotten pretty good at connecting to its Wi-Fi to download the different videos and see then the footage that it captured. So I think it's pretty neat. I think it's exactly what you want. And in the event of an accident, you would have this footage. So here's the rear camera. Rear camera is a lower quality. I believe it's a 1080. It could be 720. I can't remember. I'll put it in below. But the rear camera, I mounted mine inside, and so it's getting a little bit of the tinting from my windows, but I still think it's a good image. It shows very clearly the car behind me. I could adjust this a little bit to point it just a little bit more down if I wanted to try to get closer to my own bumper in this, but not a problem. And so you can set this up. You can view the rear camera if you need to. Here's a night view of the rear camera. Again, my window is too dirty here, so that's the only problem with the footage here, is that it is not clean enough in terms of the glass in my car. But I was really impressed with how this recorded and how well it did. So I think if you want to try this one, you will like it. All right, to finish up this dash cam video, the things I really like about it: one, its size. It's so small and it just fits, and I have a big windshield, but I don't even notice that it's there once it's up. So I really like that. So The next thing I really like about it is that it is always videoing. It's basically a plug and play and forget about it until you need a video. When you need a video, it's going to be there. The thing is, it's going to write over videos, so you can't wait forever to go back and get your video. If you are out on a trip and something happens, it's going to be there after that day's outing. The third thing I like about it is it's easy to use in terms of getting the videos to your phone, the connection to Wi-Fi. Once you're connected, it's there. I like the clarity of the video. It's really, really clean. The front-facing video does a great job of allowing me to see everything. If there's something that happened that you need to see, it would be there on the video. So,
emergency video.
It's talking to me right now. It's responding to my voice commands. I really like its 2-video system, the front and the back, and also the audio. So you've got everything. And then the fifth thing is that it can video while you're parked. So if you wanted to leave it running while you're parked, you will have to figure out how to power it, or in my case, my power stays on, but I need to know how much battery it's going to use to do that. So you wouldn't want to leave it plugged in all the time, but I've left it plugged in a few times when I've been parked, and it's been fine. Those are the things I really like about it. I'll link to it below. Check the price point, see if that's what you're interested in and it meets your needs. So hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.
Hey subscribers!